first reaction was I really couldn't believe that God allowed it to happen. So I thought to myself, I said, if God didn't protect our family, then why should I follow Him? What if I just turned away from God? I was very upset because I had prayed every night for God to protect our family, our children, and then that one night He didn't. And then as I was struggling in my heart, because I was thinking, but if I turn away, where would I go? Because God is my life. He's everything to me. And then God spoke to me in a very still, small voice. He said, Deonna, will you be willing to trust me even with this? Will you trust me that I will use it for good? Will you trust me? So I thought about it, and I thought, yes, Lord, I'll trust you. And that became our battle cry. Even the other families, because 2 other girls were raped, plus one of our helpers. So we all decided that we're going to trust God to use it for good. And that we would, I told God, I don't understand this. I feel very bad about it. Why didn't it happen to me? But instead of my daughter. But I said, I'll be like Jacob. When he was wrestling with you, he wouldn't let you go until he saw his promise fulfilled. So then God showed me that Joy and her friends were like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that they had gone through the fiery furnace, but Jesus was with them in the furnace through that terrible experience, and that they would come out, they would not smell of smoke, they would not be burned or damaged. And then the other verse he gave me is that Satan had come that night to kill, steal, and destroy, literally. But he reminded me that he said, I've come to give you life and to give it abundantly. So God was working in my heart simultaneously that night, the next day, and onwards. It was just a matter of trusting Him and walking by faith and not by sight. And believing His word that He would take care of Joy and her friends. And they're all okay today. They're not dysfunctional. They don't have bitterness. They were able to forgive and forgive the man who had raped them and trust their lives to God and trust that He would use it for good. And they're willing to talk about it. They're willing to use it and share it because they really did trust God. So Joy said, Mom, I know that Dad, she said, Mom and Dad, I know that God is sovereign and that He could have stopped what happened. He could have stopped the rape. She said, He didn't. But He said, I know He loves me. And that if He allowed it, that He's going to use it for good. So at 15, she was able to process it. And that helped me too, because if I'd have seen her not processing it properly, it would have been, by faith, it would have been more difficult for me to go through it, I think. Because, I'd be very concerned about her. So God worked deeply in all of our hearts. And then we were there to support one another also. And then the families, two other friends were raped, and then we were there for one another. And she had her friends; they were for one another. And they told the school what had happened, and people came forward and hugged them afterwards. And we told her that your virginity has been stolen, but you can still be a spiritual virgin for God. It was done against your will. And then people came forward and they hugged them. And then some ladies came forward also and said, I was raped and I've never told anybody. Can you please hug me too? It's the first time I'm telling anybody. So God's healing. And then He gave me another verse, and I think it's this one. He said, what happened to you will go out to the whole world. And people will be encouraged. And because of the missionary community, they were texting everybody in the world. And so it went out to the whole world. And after that, people who had always thought, well, it's so easy for you to trust God because you have no problem, you're financially okay. But when they saw the grace of God in our life through this tragedy, then they were encouraged to feel that God would also be there for them no matter what they went through. It was just very fast because I think when the Bible, Jesus says in everything give thanks, and it sounds crazy, like in a situation like that, how can you give thanks? I never did say thank you that she's raped, but I said, Lord, I thank you for how you're going to use it. And that thanking God, it's an act of surrender and faith, and God put my heart at peace. And I think that as we went through it, I just couldn't let go of that. I just had to hold on to that promise. That was like I shared on Sunday, that hope that we have is the anchor for our soul, no matter what we go through, but that hope in Him, that He's going to take care of us and those we love as we open Him in His way and His time.